let us briefly revise why this particular Indigo movement is referred to as a turning point in Gandhian political life. One, he realized, these are two realizations that dawned on him. He realized that being an Indian, he could not be ordered, he could not be, the British could not order him, he could not be ordered by the British where to move and where not to move in India. This realization. So the first realization was that the British could not order him about his own country. This is the first important realization. Second, he realized that the earlier the British left India, the better it would be, for the Indians. The better it would be for the Indians. These are the two important realizations. Alright. Therefore, it is called a turning point. Very important. A turning point. I forgot to write. A turning point. A turning point in the Gandhian political life. That is the reason. It is called a turning point in Gandhian political life. Now, it is during this movement, that civil disobedience triumphed for the first time in India. For the first time in India. Just for the first time. It is during this movement in Champaran. As I told you, this incident took place in the state of Bihar, in a region called Champaran, situated in the foothills of the Himalayas, that the civil disobedience movement triumphed for the first time in India. Civil disobedience movement triumphed for the first time in India. Alright? Triumphed for the first time in India. Very important. For the first time in India. Alright. This is just the beginning of the most important landmark associated with this political movement, which, as I've already told you, expedited or facilitated or catalyzed. You can also use the word catalyzes. It kind of catalyzed the achievement of Indian independence from the British. Alright. All this, these two realizations, the triumph of civil disobedience movement, takes place courtesy one person, one sharecropper. And Louis Fisher uses certain adjectives to describe this sharecropper. He was illiterate. Illiterate. He was illiterate. Louis Fisher uses the word unlettered. He uses the word unlettered. He was emaciated, physically weak. Physically weak. As any other Indian farmer at that particular point in time, he was physically weak. He was poor, but he was determined. He was determined. I believe Louis Fisher uses the word tenacious to describe the sharecropper, this sharecropper. And he is one of the many anonymous freedom fighters. And he is Rajkumar Shukla. He is Rajkumar Shukla. Unlettered, physically weak, poor. I mean, as if Louis Fisher picturizes Rajkumar Shukla as a representative of the landless Indian farmers at that particular point in time. And he proceeds. He was determined, above all. One positive aspect of his, or attribute of his characteristic, physical and mental constitution. He was determined, which is what stands out in this particular lesson. Determined. All right. Now, and Gandhi was impressed. And how did the two come in contact? Somebody told Rajkumar Shukla. It is during the time when he was also reeling under, like other sharecroppers in that particular region, Champaran, was reeling under the unjust conduct of the British. Was a sharecropper. That means was being forced, which I have not yet told you, was being forced to grow indigo. So somebody told him that Gandhi could be of help. Gandhi could be of help. So somebody told Rajkumar Shukla that Gandhi could be of help. That somebody told him. He learned from somebody that Gandhi could be of help. So he started following Gandhi. And Gandhi at that particular point in time was a very famous political leader and busy mobilizing public support, the support of the Indian masses, that is, against the British. So he was busy addressing public rallies far and wide across India, and which made Gandhi busy. But Rajkumar Shukla, who wanted Gandhi to come to Champaran, kept following Gandhi. Impressed by Shukla's tenacity, Gandhi ultimately relented and agreed to come to Champaran. Champar.